Jeff be cooking, and so is CDPR. We've got the Witcher 4 reveal trailer. I've seen it, and now you're going to get my second watch through, and we're going to just talk off the cuff about it and how exciting this whole thing is. Let's go. All right, let's go. So right off the start, the first thing that I noticed immediately is this down here that says unannounced NVIDIA GeForce RTX GPU. We already know there's a 50 series things coming, so obviously this is what this has been pre-rendered on. But I was wildly shocked when this trailer started. Like, I did think there was a good chance we might start getting something with some of the news that has come out recently, which we'll talk about towards the end of this video. But this at the start did not indicate to me that this was actually going to be The Witcher. Now we're going to turn this down a little bit. And obviously we've all seen this before, so I'm not going to react too much to it. I just want to call out specific things that we do see. Obviously we see a brief shot of Ciri there with her new getup. She looks fantastic. Good to see the swords again. This was the point that I was like, this is definitely Witcher. I was like, not sure at the start. We can sort of skip ahead a little bit here because I want to get to some of the good stuff, which is CD PROJEKT RED presents. But after this, when we first see Ciri, this bit here, right? When we first see, obviously we're still not 100% sure that it's Ciri, but it's Ciri. You can tell. I love how they're keeping a lot of the voices the same, the style. This feels very CD PROJEKT RED. There you go. There she is. Now, something that I immediately noticed here as well is that her voice is different. I actually don't think it's the original voice actor from The Witcher 3. We don't have that confirmed right now. I'm not sure if CD PROJEKT RED are going to bring that out at some point soon, but it doesn't sound like the original. Was it? I can't remember her name. It might have been Joe something. I can't remember that name off the top of my head, but I think it was Joe something. So now I will read a little bit as well while this is playing of the description that CDPR have put out. Now, The Witcher 4 is an upcoming single-player open-world role-playing game by CD PROJEKT RED, the next mainline entry in the Witcher series of games following the critically acclaimed The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt. At the beginning of the new saga, players take on the role of Ciri, a professional monster slayer, and embark on a journey through a brutal, dark fantasy world powered by Unreal Engine 5 and developed in-house by CDPR, and it aims to be the most immersive and ambitious open-world Witcher game to date. Now, before we talk about that, let's just pause here as Ciri grabs her sword. This action shot of Ciri is fantastic. I love the bit more layered outfits here. Obviously, they're in a colder environment, so it's got a lot of that original Geralt outfit from The Witcher 3 vibes with like the shoulder pads, but it's also got that warmer look to it, which I really quite like. God, I love this shots. This is very, very cinematic. Here we go. We're getting to my favorite bit. It's coming. It's coming. Here it is. Boom. She pops the potion. Now, for those of you that, here she goes, the eyes. Oh, love the eyes. Fantastic. But interesting thing to note here is for Witcher lore, right? To become a Witcher, you have to go through the Trial of Grasses, which is what then allows them to have the potions and like the superhero-like abilities of, you know, strength and senses, etc. Now, the interesting thing is that a woman has never survived the Trial of Grasses, and I don't believe that. I believe that's the case. Like, I don't think that a woman has ever survived, and I believe that's like law. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, but another interesting thing to note is that obviously she has gone through that process because she is consuming the potion and she's obviously gaining the abilities from it. Like, I'm assuming that's Cat or something that she's taken here because, you know, the environment is quite dark, so she's probably taking that so that she can see a little bit better. But it is interesting. And then we do see a little bit as we continue here that she uses the Witcher signs rather than her powers, I would say, from the Witcher 3. So there you go. And I'm interested to know, which I don't think we're going to know until significantly in the future because we have no release date or anything for this yet, is what happened to her original powers. Does she still have them? Did going through the trial remove them, or did she lose them after the events of Wild Hunt? See, this here is interesting. where she pulls something out. See, that's a little bit different. That's not a Witcher power, I don't believe. That's a Ciri power by the looks. But it does kind of look like Yerden a little bit, how it like stuns them. I'm interested to know if this is going to be a combination between like the Witcher powers and Ciri powers, if you know what I mean. Like the space time. Oh, I love the chain. The chain is sick, right? So we're getting the chain. I'm assuming they wouldn't put something like this in the trailer with such a focus on it if it's not going to be in the game, at least to some regard. And then she lights it with Igni. Oh, so good. It's good. It's good. She's gonna. Oh. Yes, love this. Love this. So yes. So no chain. Chain. No crossbow. So this might be the new interesting mechanic that we get here as sort of a range mechanic. Can't wait to like throw the chain and like rip griffins out of the sky. Oh, so good. And then as with any good Witcher story, it never ends in a happy ending. But yes, we do also see Geralt, Ciri with the 2 swords, which I think is fantastic. So, steel for humans, silver for monsters as always. I do like her new hair too, like the braid with like the leather through it.
There are no gods here. There are only monsters.
Listen. Listen careful. Oh, that's interesting. Hang on a minute. Let's just pause this real quick. I swear I heard a voice at the end. Fun fact there, that version that we were just playing was the official released version from CDPR. This is the Game Awards version that they put out. Just have a little bit of a listen right here at the end, which is something that I wanted to point out.
Time for a new saga. See you on the path.
Obviously, we hear Doug Cockle returning there as Geralt, but interestingly, that is the Game Awards version of the trailer, but the CDPR version, which we'll just play again for argument's sake, just so we can all hear this together. That's it. So no Geralt at the end there, which is interesting. Like there was that report the other day about how he will be in the new game. So interesting to see what that will actually be. I don't know. Can we expect him to be a major part of the game? I really don't think so. I think he'll play maybe a Vesemir role here, or there is, especially in the way that Ciri acts in this trailer. She's quite aggressive. She's doing the Witcher things, but she's not the fun-loving Ciri that you may remember a little bit from The Witcher 3, right? You know, in her reactions with the Baron and that sort of storyline and the way that she cared about the kids and the people. She obviously still cares about the people, but she's much older. She's more mature. There's definitely a different vibe to Ciri here. That's much more gruff and serious, and especially in that scene. She's clearly something has happened to her that has set her on the path, unintended, in this way, right? So I'm curious to see what that's going to be. I'm obviously curious to see more of the game once we do see more. When can we expect to see more? A very, very long time. I don't think we will see anything huge. We'll probably get some little tidbits of information over the next 6 to 12 months or something, and probably there'll be a larger statement that CD PROJEKT will make after the Game Awards, just to keep the hype going. But in terms of a release date, look, I wouldn't expect it to be anytime soon. Potentially 2026, most likely 2027. We did get a report not that long ago that the game has actually entered full production, which means they're done with pre-production, so they're really actually putting everything together. So that doesn't mean it's coming out this year for sure. You're definitely going to need at least a 2-year cycle for something like that. And they have also said in the past that because this is the first game they are developing on Unreal Engine 5, that this will take a little bit longer to develop. Now, this is the first of the new trilogy, so we can then also expect that this one will take a little bit longer, and then the follow-up games will be a little bit shorter of a dev time because they've built those pipelines out from the first one. So I think that while we might be waiting just a smidge longer for this one, hopefully once we do go ahead and get into the rest of this trilogy, quicker. Now, an interesting thing that I wanted to point out about this new trilogy as well is in the CDPR note that they put out, the next mainline entry in the Witcher series of games following the critically acclaimed The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt. At the beginning of the new saga, players take the role of Ciri, a professional monster hunter. Now, the interesting thing about that to me is at the beginning of a new saga. So is that meaning that we're only playing as Ciri now at the beginning of this new saga for The Witcher 4? Will The Witcher 5 and 6 be different? Will we be playing a different character? Is that going to be someone that we know? Maybe Geralt then comes back as the main character in a future one. I'm not really sure. I think it's also an interesting decision as well to make Ciri the lead in this one, and we're going to play as Ciri. If you remember a lot of through The Witcher 3, right, you're making a lot of decisions as Geralt, and you're playing as Geralt, and you're really embodying that character, and we'll be doing all of that, I am assuming, with Ciri in this one as well, which is quite a different take and a different character. And another thing to mention that I forgot to talk about earlier is obviously her medallion here that we do see right there. We do see the cat, like Link's medallion. It does do the normal shake thing. So is this a new school that Ciri is starting? Is she the head of a school? Maybe they're going like I don't want to say the word sequel trilogy, but the sequel trilogy route of, say, Luke Skywalker starting a new school. Ciri starts this cat Link's school. The school gets destroyed, burned down, whatever. And then she goes on a murderous rampage to whatever the threat is to destroy that threat, right? There's a lot of things that we really don't know much about yet, but I am super keen to see more. But yeah, that is all the thoughts that I have for you today. We recorded this very differently to my normal sort of videos. I'm just talking off the cuff here because I just wanted to talk about it and it's fun. So let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Thank you guys for watching this video till the end. Thank you to our members for supporting the channel. My name is Norza and I hope you have a great day.